The UK RLE just got finished, and wow, do we have a lot to talk about today. I have made a notepad of everything that I'd like to discuss. I'm not going to do a formal type of video today. I do have my deck list reviews completed. I'll be putting those videos up probably tomorrow and Tuesday, so keep an eye out for that. I'm going to split it into two again, where I talk about the bottom 8 and then the top 8. But today I just want to say congratulations to everybody at the Top Cuts for the UK RLE, and a thank you to Tam and Levi and Barrett, because their commentary was amazing, and it was just a really fun time to watch this event over the last few days. Today I got to watch like 2 full rounds, and then I went to church and missed most of the finals, but I was pretty surprised that when I got back home from church, finals was still going on. So that's why I'm dressed up today. But and then I got to watch several rounds yesterday, and it was a very fun time. So just a thank you to everybody that participated in the event. All right, first things first, I picked Good Mirio to win the event. You know, I had correctly predicted that Eraserhead would win the Webcam RLE. I had correctly predicted that Mirio would win the Oceanic RLE, and then that Life Overhaul would win the Gen Con RLE. So I was feeling pretty good about my predictions. And I came very close, because yesterday in my Top Cuts predictions, I looked at all the good Mirio lists and wanted to find a Mirio list that I really truly believed in. And Emma's list was definitely, to me, it was the coolest of the 4 lists. Not that the other lists weren't great. I mean, they were all great. They all made Top Cuts, right? There's no question about that. But I really liked Emma's list. I liked that it played a more control version of Mirio, replacing jab with rewind throttle, and having lots of one-ofs like You're So Obvious and Taiyaki Fanatic to find her way through a myriad of situations. And from what I saw, she played extremely well. My brother said there might have been some misplays in game 2 against the against Overhaul in the finals, but like I said, I missed game 2, so I can't speak to that. But from what I saw, both players played amazing, and Emma played Good Mirio really well. So you know, I still take half credit. Good Mirio got second. It wasn't a total failure, but I'll take ownership that I didn't get it right this time. Next up is that what stung the most about not getting it right about Good Mirio was that Luke Quincy, who won on Life Overhaul, topped with Good Mirio in the Webcam RLE just last month. So he has betrayed the Good Mirio cause and switched sides to switched sides to evil and joined the group of Overhaul players. No, I don't know. It just feels like there's this like Mirio versus Overhaul rivalry going on in the community right now. That might just be me though, trying to foster that and keep on hyping Mirio up. But congratulations to Luke. Something fascinating about Luke's Webcam RLE list is that it actually Ben Clapperton, who topped this RLE, was using the exact same list as Luke's list, who topped with the Webcam RLE, except he made one adjustment, and that was Ben just took out the sideboard and just played with the core list. So Luke's Mirio list still made it into Top Cuts this UK RLE, but he won on Life Overhaul. Just to talk about Mirio for a little longer, and then we'll jump into Luke's deck and talk a little bit about Life Overhaul and Repeated 100% Smash. Repeated definitely seems to be the card that everybody is worried about and wants to talk about, but I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Let's first talk about this Mirio list. Why did I like it? You know, one saying that I like is that pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. Meaning, you know, you want to eat well, but you don't want to be the fattest pig when they're deciding who to take for dinner. You know, and Mirio can be really greedy. You get to play Hardened Jab and Valiant Assault and Future Charge, all of these 3-speed mid attacks, and you get to play them really well and take full advantage because you're changing the zone. But then also it means that when there's decks like Life Overhaul with Faith Shield and Cooperation Offer and Evade and Copy, all of these answers to Mirio, that these attacks then kind of come back to hurt you as Mirio, because you got a little too greedy. Also, Mirios can be very, very aggressive because Mirio can be a very, very aggressive character and can definitely just take people out on turns 2 and 3. But Mirio can also be a very defensive character, and I think we saw Emma do that really, really well. There was a game where she was playing an Amajiki, and I want to say that game went on for like 2 hours. We were just waiting for it to finish because everybody else in the round had finished up. But Emma was playing Mirio very slow and deliberately, and not allowing herself to go into any bad situations, and was always, keeping defensive foundations ready and had a lot of tech pieces. And that's the way that I think Mirio is going to be going in the future. I think the greedy, aggressive Mirio lines are probably for the past. They're still very, very strong and they can make top cuts, but I'm thinking when you want to win an entire event, you need to play a more respectful version of Mirio. And part of that is playing Rewind Throttle instead of Hardened Jab. Because Rewind Throttle is like the perfect mix of Hardened Jab and Heroic Strike, because it pairs really well with Back Alley Haymaker in the sense that you're committing one, and so you're going further down this stun line of attack. And it pairs really well with drawing a card. And Hardened Jab a lot of times blinks in Mirio unless you build around it. And so Rewind Throttle is going to draw you that card and be selective committal, which is worth much, much more than like a stun 2 or stun 1. You're getting to selectively commit something down, and then of course it replaces itself. So it's this perfect, I think it's better than Jab and better than Heroic Strike in Mirio. The other thing is just playing more tech pieces. Like in my Mirio list that I've been playing lately, I really like the card To the Rescue. I know most people in the good symbol, when they think of board control, you're typically looking at cards like Lost in Thought. I like To the Rescue more because it's at response speed, and it seals instead of commits. Because we see Life Overhaul playing cards like Heroic Assistance, which even if you're selectively committing down, he's going to use Heroic Assistance to ready it back up unless you commit down Heroic Assistance. But a card like To the Rescue is going to seal. So I really like To the Rescue and Lost in Thought. I've even been playing a lot of Phantom Clothesline to seal a foundation, but it only works if you've done damage that turn. So it's not an ideal version of board control, but it is something. So I've been playing lists where I'm maxing out Rewind Throttle, playing like 4 To the Rescue, and then playing 2 Phantom Clothesline, and I'm just going really heavy on this "you are not going to use a cooperation offer against me" type of line. Okay, but that's enough about the Mirio. Oh, one last thing before I jump off Mirio is that everybody acts like Overhaul is a horrible matchup for Mirio. Overhaul is a bad matchup for Mirio, but I think we just saw in this finals and in the Oceanic finals when Mirio actually took down Earth Overhaul, both of the finals went like 2-3+ hours long. Like on the Oceanic finals, they even wrote like "I'm sorry" on a little paper and put it to the camera because they had went so long. And then today, of course, we saw both players just building to like 20 foundations, and then it became this mill out situation. So it wasn't like Mirio was just losing this matchup. They're very, very evenly matched. A lot of times it comes down to who has more cards in their deck, and Mirio up to this point has normally been running these 50 card deck lists, but he doesn't have to. He could be very, very strong on a 60-65 card deck list, just like Overhaul, and win those mill out matchups. So I don't think it's a losing matchup for Mirio whatsoever. All right, about Overhaul. All right, Overhaul is a problem, right? Just won UK RLE, just won the Gen Con RLE. And so let's talk about Overhaul. One is that he reads super complicated. Right, but then when you actually play him, he's very, very simple. When you actually play him, you realize, oh, I'm just giving 2 damage to everything. I'm ignoring progressive difficulty. I get 2 fish for blocks, so I never have to worry about my block zones. And I outbuild my opponent all the time. So I'm a control deck that never gets outbuilt because I get to build straight from my hand. So when you actually play Overhaul, he's a very, very simple character, which surprised me because when they first revealed the character and they first revealed Mirio, I actually posted to Facebook this whole long thing about how like they kept giving Overhaul cool powers, and then on Mirio they're just like, let him change his zone, give 2 damage, and take something to 0, and make it super simple. But when I actually played both of these characters, I realized that Overhaul is definitely a starter deck character. He is not an Eraserhead 1. He is not a Shoto 1. He is not a Yaoyorozu 1. I probably butchered that. But he is not this super complicated character to play. He is a very, very simple character to play. And he only takes a few rounds of practice before you feel very, very comfortable. Like a week before the webcam RLE, I played in a Wednesday webcam weekly, and I had never played Overhaul before, but I had built a deck and done some theory crafting, and then I played Overhaul and went 3-0, and it felt simple, which I was very, very surprised by. I was ready to not play well, but he's definitely a starter deck character. And then you give Overhaul, who's ignoring progressive on an attack, a card like Repeated 100% Smash that says you ready your entire stage for how many punch attacks you have in your card pool. Like, Repeated's main downside is that you're playing it on an 8 or 9. And so Overhaul fixes the main downside of the broken card. So maybe I need to make a video of breaking broken cards and focus on Repeated 100% Smash like I did I made a video for it on Freezer Burn. Maybe I need to make one on Repeated 100% Smash, because characters like Overhaul are definitely the characters that break this card, where you're playing the Repeated on a 5 and then you're readying 4. So now you're ready to play defense. Or if you want to, you can then push in further and have a lethal attack string. So he breaks the broken card, right? Luke's list was very, very similar to Andrew's list. They only had a few differences. One was that Luke was running Setup Strike instead of Tongue Whip, but both of those cards are fundamentally focused on speed. It's just that Setup Strike is a punch that works with Repeated, but it's probably not quite as powerful as Tongue Whip. So Overhaul is already very, very strong. Feels like he has answers to everything. He doesn't have obvious answers like Mirio. Like, Mirio has some very, very obvious answers in the game. Faith Shield, Cooperation Offer, Wall Cling, Evade and Copy. There's just a lot of very obvious answers to Mirio, but there is an Eraserhead 1, but there's not to Overhaul. And I'm going to be trying to make a video here in the next week or so about how to beat Overhaul. There's only one problem with me making that video, and that's that I don't know. I've got some ideas. I have lots of ideas. But I don't have a clear strategy to do it, like clear weaknesses for Overhaul. And that's one of the benefits of this character, is he really doesn't have any. It feels like he can wiggle his way out of any situation and find his way to a winning game. And a lot of times it doesn't feel like he's being super unfair doing it, because he'll be in a situation where the game has gone to turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, and he's at low health, but Overhaul always seems to find the line and find the way to stay alive and then present lethal. So I would love to hear your thoughts on Overhaul's weaknesses and how to exploit them and which cards do it best. Just leave comments below on this video. Send me a message on Discord. Everybody knows me as Chiefs27 or Chiefs15. I can't remember which. The Chiefs guy. Just send me a message or leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts on the weaknesses of Overhaul, because Overhaul is only going to get stronger when Maximum Overhaul becomes legal in 2 weeks. Maximum Overhaul is a broken card. It just is. It allows you to pick up 3 cards from your stage. Most of those are going to be attacks. So it's allowing you to selectively draw 3 attacks, and then it's letting you build from your hand. And the part that makes it really unfair is you're building from your hand, you're building it ready, and you're building it face up. So you can build like a 3 difficulty foundation for free from your hand in the middle of an attack string. That's just not fair. So it's a great poke attack because you can just build for free, and then it's a great attack to grab attacks and just keep on going. And then itself, it becomes a 7 low for 8. So it's awesome stats and it's awesome effects, and it's given to the best character in the game, and it's an Overhaul only enhance on the bottom enhance, and then the top enhance is only if you've played a card from outside your hand. So it's basically an Overhaul only card. Already one of the most broken characters in the game, right? We see Overhaul, Mirio, and Jiro, in my opinion, are the top 3 characters in the game. So we're giving already the best character in the game, and now we're going to give him a new card that might be the best attack in the game. And this is okay. and it's going down September 1st. So if Overhaul's already won 2 RLEs this season, and he's going to be winning more, and if this keeps up, at Nationals, Overhaul is going to have an insane representation percentage. Remember how last year at Nationals, everybody was complaining about Kirishima 2? I was at Nationals, and I had someone, I sat down in like round 6, and he said, oh, thank goodness, at least I'm just not playing a Kirishima 2. He was so, like, people were fed up with it, that everybody was running Kirishima 2, and it was because Kirishima 2 felt so consistent. And that's exactly how Overhaul feels. He feels just as consistent as Kirishima 2, except he actually might be better. And they're probably not going to errata or ban a starter deck character before Nationals. So this is just where we are. And then even if they do ban repeated 100% Smash, which probably won't be banned because it's a secret rare this set, Overhaul is still going to be insane because of Maximum Overhaul. I have no idea how Maximum Overhaul is going to be printed. It's an insane attack. And it's really going to help out, in my opinion, the Earth build of Overhaul with cards like Hardened Jab, Hardened Chop, Hardened Frenzy. Just take Kirishima's kit and slap Overhaul on it, and it works great. So that brings us to another problem, is repeated 100% Smash. Is it okay? And I think that it's a powerful card that would have been fine if it wasn't for characters like Overhaul who just break it. And then the other question is, can it be banned? So one is it okay to have a super powerful secret rare? And I think it is. I think it's much better than the other problem which we've had with the latest sets, where we've had cards like Aggressive Clash and Heroic Clash and Double Front Beatdown. What are the others? I can't even remember their names. Like the last several secret rares that we've gotten have been more like meme cards and like fun local cards than they've actually been strong competitive cards. And I like having secret rares be strong competitive cards, especially since we've moved to having one in every single box. It makes boxes have value and feel good to open. And so I don't mind repeated 100% Smash, but I also don't want it to be protected from getting banned or errated in the future just because it's a secret rare and just because it's carrying the value of the set. For the record, I think we could ban repeated 100% Smash and be okay. I still think the value of set 5 is pretty high right now. Like Rejuvenating Smash, I think, is like $30. Manifest is like $40. A lot of these XR characters are pretty high up in price. I think we could be just fine banning repeated 100% Smash, and I hope that they do it. The problem is that it's not going to take Overhaul down. It's not even going to do anything to him because Maximum Overhaul's coming. So Overhaul's here to stay. He's probably not getting eroded, and we're all going to have to deal with him. And we're definitely going to have to deal with him for Nationals because the next set, Jetburn, is not coming out before Nationals. So this is just where we are. So I would love to hear your ideas on how to defeat Overhaul. Okay, I am getting really, really long-winded here. But one thing that the final showed that I liked was how much you need Deadlock versus Overhaul. Mario had like pull no punches and a few other things, but you just absolutely need crazy Deadlock to defeat Overhaul in those long game state situations. And then lastly is that 12 out of 16 characters for this UK RLE were set 5 characters. And the top 5 most represented characters by the field were set 5 characters. So is this a good thing or is this a bad thing, and will this continue? Well, I think it's a pretty good thing because the format was pretty stale. It felt like the same characters winning everything over and over and over again. It was always Jiro, Eraserhead, Momo. Occasionally you'd get another character like Recovery Girl. But anytime you would get a non-set 1 character that was strong in the format, it would be like they would immediately get eroded. Like Ojiro 2. Oh, that was too strong. Okay, we'll errata Ojiro 2. Or Kirishima 2. Okay, that was too strong. We'll errata Kirishima 2. It was like set 1 characters were allowed to be strong, but past set 1 characters weren't allowed to be strong. And it felt like UVS games, they took the ant farm and shook it up and gave us some new characters. So that was nice that the whole power level of set 5 in terms of characters went way up. And they're also very, very well designed, and so they're interesting to play. And I'm not upset about that at all. I think that's actually really cool, and it's making things very fun. But we are in the danger zone of like it being boring that it's always Mirio versus Overhaul. Um, they always feel like they're in the finals or top four. And so I am worried that it could get very stale going forward. Maybe that's just, now that there's been a few months, maybe people will go back to playing the past characters once we've had our set 5 fill. And then will it continue? And I think it will continue. I think the current meta and representation is probably here to stay all the way until Nationals. And I don't see a lot of bans happening. I don't think Back Alley Haymaker is getting hit right before they make a promo. I kind of doubt Repeated gets hit as an SR. Maximum Overhaul's probably not going to get hit. It only comes out September 1st. So the only time they would have to ban it is either September, basically before anybody got to play it, or October, right before Nationals. Doesn't feel like they would ban a card like that right before Nationals, especially when we worked hard to participate in Provisional Store Championships and win Provisional Store Championships to get our Maximum Overhauls. So I really don't see any changes in the meta now going forward, which means that Nationals is probably going to be a ton of Overhaul, Mirio, Amajiki, Deku 4, Dejire, just, all the set 5 characters. And I'm kind of here for it, and I'm kind of not. I just have conflicting feelings. I would love to know your feelings on the subject. And one thing is, to be clear, I'm not like complaining about Overhaul or Mirio right now. I'm trying just to face the facts and let's see how we can overcome them, because I don't think Overhaul is just not beatable. And I think there are ways to where we can beat them. And I'm going to be spending a lot of the next few months trying to do that. I don't want to just be somebody who screams into the void, oh, you need to ban him, you need to ban him, the game is ruined until you ban him. I'm not one of those guys. He's very strong, and let's figure out how to beat him going into Nationals. And then if everybody's playing the character that you're ready to beat, then you're in a good position. So that's all of my thoughts for today. I would love to hear y'all's feedback. Just a reminder that I am at like 96 subscribers. So as soon as I hit 4 subscribers, as soon as I hit 100, the contest for the Spike and Bash deck list will be over, and I will be sending the winner a sealed box of Undaunted Raid, which could have a repeated XSR, could have a Chrome Rare. I'm feeling pretty lucky about it. So you probably only have 1 or 2 days left to send me your link. You can build a deck on any symbol, and I think I have 12 submissions right now. I haven't checked in a few days, but I was at 12 the last time I checked, and a lot of them are very, very cool. So I am excited to make this video. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. I will see you tomorrow and the next day with my deck list reviews.